I'm Scott Davis. I'm the producing director at the Alley Theater, and I've been doing that on and off since we were founded back in 1993. Technically, the Alley Theater's mission is to produce progressive theater and to help promote others in producing their theater. Most of the plays we produce they're pop culture oriented in order to, I guess, bring people into something that's familiar to help introduce them to theater. Two of the best examples of this would be Evil Dead the Musical or Point Break Live. You've got these two iconic films that people identify with immediately, yet they can come into an environment, have a really good time, and be part of the show, even if it's just being sprayed down with blood or water, or actually in Point Break, the lead role's pulled out of the audience. We do parodies of Flash Gordon, the old Commando Cody movie serials, Star Wars, as well as some more serious pieces like History of the Devil that Clive Barker wrote, or Eurydice, which we've done in the past, just to help introduce people, to let them know that even the pieces they may not know can be fun and entertaining, and just do it in a much more relaxed atmosphere. I mean, this is about as dressed up as people get around here.
History always begins with
It's kind of a laid-back social environment. The amount of conversation that goes on between the audience members or between the audience members and the cast during the course of an evening kind of baffles most rules of what you think theater should be like. We do probably about 70% original material that's generated out of the theater or by local writers. We do a play festival every spring, the Inhuman Festival of New American Undead Theater. Todd, the artistic director here for the main stage, thought it would be a good idea to do a play festival of zombie plays. And then we expanded that to, no, let's do all undead. And we don't want to just do zombies because too many people know we already do that.
Maybe you're the one who's sick.
I'm not sick, Dave.
You wouldn't know anyway. It makes you crazy. Maybe you're about to attack us all.
Dave, just calm down. Just put the gun away.
We looked at when it was, and we decided our festival was going to run right opposite the Humana Festival, and thought it was pretty funny to call it Inhuman, a festival of New American Undead Theater. The Alley Theater is located at 1210 Franklin Avenue or at 1205 East Washington Street, depending on where you enter the building. We're located at the Point in Butchertown. The theater reopened here at the Point in 2010. When it became available to move down here, we divided the space into 3 different performance areas. This one we call the Ron Tasman Main Stage Theater. This room seats up to 112 people.
What happens to a thing that's lived
And is pretty much a classic black box. It's very intimate, very nice, comfortable theater. The other 2 spaces, one was a black box. It only seats 49. It's going to be turned into kind of a crossover cabaret black box space that'll feature stand-up comedy, improv groups, variety acts. We're really hoping to develop a vaudeville show. And then there is my favorite space, which is the actual cabaret room, which is open to everything in the building. It seats right at 100 people, and that's where we do Flash Gordon and Commando Cody, and that room is pretty much set aside just for the late night sci-fi stuff, although we're looking at doing Clerks this fall and hoping Kevin Smith will come and play a role, at least one day. The Clint Vaught Young Actors Institute is the new name of the Young Actors Institute from the Youth Performing Arts School, and it's been around for roughly 25 years. It was founded by Clint Vaught, who was at the Youth Performing Arts School for years before that, and actually was kind of my mentor when I was a student there. Myself, Phil Cherry, and J.C. Reedy, who's the vice principal at the Youth Performing Arts School now, wanted to expand the program to make it year-round. And we invited a few of the students from last year to be the initial group that we tried this out on.
The first line is the line that sort of propels you the rest of the way through the monologue. Okay? Take that one line and create a story that has a beginning.
The primary focus is on improv, although we do work monologue, scene study, and audition skills. We do special workshops in acting for the camera and makeup. The students vary in age from about 10 to 14. And I mean, the goal is really to provide them with a strong continuing background that's performance oriented.
To the text, you know what I'm saying, in the beginning.
Personally, I think the biggest reason to come to the Alley Theater is that theater has been giving itself a bad rap for about the last 20 years. It's not a dying art form because the art forms we love film especially, all draw from theater. And unless you have this creative base for those writers and directors to develop their skills, you're going to end up with a whole lot of reality television. But the biggest reason to come down here is almost anything you see is going to be fresh that night. Yes, we do some standard productions like History of the Devil where it's pretty much the same every night. But you could come back to see Flash Gordon every other week and see something different. You're going to be entertained, you're going to have fun, and you will have had a good reason to leave the house. And that's probably the best reason to come down here.